Our standard checks and we'll get underway. Alright, I think we're set. Welcome everybody, joining us either live on Twitch TV or after the fact, tuning into the VOD posted on YouTube, which, good God, I'm behind on uploading those, going to try to get several up over the next 24 hours. Hope everybody's doing well. Welcome back to another stream on the Overanalyst channel. My name is Brady, and today I'm going to be going through the Hand of Fate 2 DLC with you guys. We actually finished the main game last night in a very, very long stream that I think was supposed to be around 3 hours, but ended up creeping to about 5 because I just couldn't stop. Always the telltale sign of a great game, yeah? So, here's what we're gonna do. I know there's at least 2 DLC chapters. There's this one, the Map Maker for the Goblin DLC, and then the, I think it's the Beast, or the Servant and the Beast DLC chapter. I think in the game it's just called the Servant or something. So, in the event that those 2 chapters are all we have, tonight's stream may be a little bit shorter than usual. If, say, it takes me between 2.5 to 3 hours to get through both of them. But if I just end up blazing through all the DLC content, like, really quickly, what I would like to do then is take a little bit of time, maybe after a 5-minute break going off air to readjust my whole little streaming kit and changing the category appropriately, to show off the next game I want to be playing on stream. And that's not to say once we're through with the DLC, Hand of Fate 2's gone for good. It certainly won't be. I'm thinking about moving it to a weekend stream and actually start varying the games I play here on a daily basis. So maybe for now we could have a game we play during the week and one for weekends? Something like that. Or 2 games during the week and one specifically for the weekend. I'll figure it out. But the point is, there's going to be more diversity represented on the channel and on the stream. Always a good thing, I believe. But, with that said, we are going to go ahead and dive into this first DLC challenge, the Map Maker. There are places where the boundaries between life and death grow thin. None but the foolish or desperate would approach these gateways. But if you would change what has gone before, venture forth, in the steps of thousands of mortals and gods who have failed before you. So it looks like this is going to be a resource-intensive challenge. They're asking us to have plenty of gold to bribe, I suppose, the dead, and plenty of food encounters. So what I'll try to do is develop my encounter deck to be about half and half. And of course, this is the Goblin DLC, so we're finally gonna get to take a good long look at that Gobbo roster. I've absolutely adored fighting them on what few occasions we've had to do so. And even though we unlocked Valenos the Dealer at the end of... Oh, one moment, sorry. Sorry, one thing I've got to do real quick. I noticed that I neglected to create a private party to broadcast through, which would allow the game audio to just drown me out. This should fix it. There we go. Sorry about that. Even though we unlocked Valenos the Dealer, and he's pretty damn powerful, I don't think we want to use him straight away, because I actually want to show off one of the DLC companions, who we've not seen yet. Hubie the Orphan, this little, like, juvenile goblin. So his special ability distracts enemies, like he acts as a decoy for us. That's kind of useful. He can dodge just like standard goblins, and he can restore the charges on any kind of bomb.
It seems your standards are lower than I had feared.
Does he have, like, unique voice clips for every companion?
A companion to whom violence is
I guess so.
nature. A reasonable choice here.
None for himself, though. Okay, so we'll take Hubie. We want that big old extra food and gold store to begin with. And, I mean, well, we've kind of got to go with the Goblin Griefers, eh? Oh, and these, unlike any other quick weapons we've seen so far, any other, like, twin blades, can actually deflect ranged attacks, but only from goblin hunters, who I don't believe you can normally deflect. Are there any platinum supplies? I just noticed the platinum cards down there. I guess there are if we unlock more equipment challenges. Speaking of our equipment, what are we gonna want? The exquisite blade.
Don't you?
Golden shield. Wanderer's bounty. Gives us some extra gold, why not? Let's go for the pious robes, just to keep us from starving in case that food does get to be a problem. Weave of the Protector I rather like. Now we're just gonna run down all of our usual, like, gambit breakers. The Mask of Holy Fortunes. The Gambler's Jewel. What on earth does Callus Ring do? Ring of Food's always a pretty good one. Thieves' Bounty, that won't do us any good here. Maybe... yeah, let's go ahead and take Callus's ring. Just to see what it does. And then... the Harvest Blade. That'll help give us some food. There we are. Now, our encounters. The Feast of Callus. That's a gamble, but let's go for it. The World-Ending Worm for Hubie. We'll probably want Goblin Town, because there's not as many equipment cards that'll help give us gold as we should like. Winding Trail is a good way to earn some quick resources. Ditto for Dark Alleys and Deep Water. Fallen Treasure's always a safe bet. MC2M, hey, how's it going, man? Having a good day, I hope? We are getting ready to take on the Map Maker. And these two. Well, maybe not Stern in the Mire. Rana's Remarkable Fishing's always a good one. Just finished up with your Monday roleplay. Same setting and campaign that we talked about a few days ago. The survival-based campaign. Okay, what are we thinking? Maybe not there. How'd it go today? Map Maker is a fun challenge, I hope so. I'd imagine there's going to be quite a lot to it, since it's supposed to introduce us to a brand new enemy faction. We'll go ahead and go for raider prevention.
This, however,
let's get started.
Even me. Every story we tell is ultimately a story of power. This one is a story of broken power. Long dead gods and the rotten tides that lap at their fallen bodies.
Ooh. Bridge into the Wastes. Once a great civilization dwelled here. A utopia. Now it is an empty and devastated place known only as the Mournful Wastes, torn apart by gods and mortals, each searching for the lost gateway. A gateway that leads beyond death itself. A gateway that can undo your guilt and make amends for your mistake. She died long ago, but you have not forgotten. With the Emperor dead, and the Empire in discord, you had no choice but to select a new leader. Ever willing, your companion took the mantle of Empress. She would have made a great ruler, if you had but managed to stop her killer. You enter the lonely inn that guards the bridge into the Badlands, somber in the knowledge that none succeed in their first journey into the Wastes, yet few survive to make a second. So, wow, I guess Estrella's dead, after leading the Empire for a time. That's awful, and sets the stakes pretty high for us. MC2M says, we checked the results of a typhoon on our island. We recruited a new NPC and ended with a picnic. Sounds like a pretty productive play session, compared to the ones I was party to, anyway. Usually, it was a success for our little role-playing group I was a part of for a brief time in my junior year, if we managed to make it through a full session without somebody accidentally killing one of the other party members. Let's talk to the elders. Beware! An elder shrieks. They say a demon stalks the land, handsome and terrible. Once a pirate, his lust for gold drove him from the sea to the desert. One by one his loyal crew died. Now only he remains, kept alive by the terrible fire inside. And beware! Another elder clenches a cake in her hand with great intensity. A god lies imprisoned beneath the stone. They say that even now her struggles crack the earth and fill the world with flames. Great. This sounds promising. An elder stops you and presses a smooth pebble into the palm of your hand. A crude map is etched upon it. He looks up at you with faraway eyes. The holy man is the font of all riddles. Alright. So, find riddles that'll help us learn our way about. Okay. The words drip out of the old man like a terrible secret. With that, he sighs and grips your hand. Heavy gold bracelets line his arm. I once sought the portal like you. It cost me everything. As you gently brush him off and step out of the inn, the dusty inhabitants shake their head at your folly. Okay, so I take it the gold token's gonna be for rescuing those crew members, and the silver token's going to be for resurrecting Empress Estrella. Well, let's make a beeline to this statue real quick.
You sail beyond sight of land. You belong to the sea. Even though you return, that truth never leaves you. This I know.
Sea Dog Holly. A chill creeps down your spine. Someone, or something, is following you. You turn to face your pursuer. A ghost. The grinning specter stands before you. A young man with his hair looped up into a messy knot. I'm the pirate Captain Holly. His voice rasps from disuse and decay. You can see me, can't you? Ask what a pirate's doing away from the sea. The promise of the gateway led me here, he grimaces. We searched among the bodies of the dead, picked through the bones of abandoned gods. It should have been a warning. Even if I wanted to get them back, I couldn't. The statue will not respond to me. I'm cursed, unable to do anything but wander. Ask if he knows where the gateway is. If I did, I wouldn't be here talking to you. Holly runs his fingers through his hair. Besides, I can't go through the portal anyway. I'm a ghost. The land forgets the dead, even here. The ghost vanishes, suddenly reappearing behind you. But perhaps I can show you some of the land. For coin, of course. I walk these burning lands till my feet turn to ashes. Is this a good deal? It doesn't really seem like it. Like, it seems like we can get the gold token and learn all the riddles and all that if we just do enough exploration anyway. And we need to buy the riddles, so I'm thinking just leave it for now. Yeah, we're gonna leave it. Statue of a priest.
Statue holds the keys to this challenge.
A few sparse tufts of grass grow at the base of the statue, a rare sign of life in the mournful wastes. One hand is raised in prayer, the other holds a worn-out offering bowl, so we can pray for a riddle, which will give us one of the 12 remaining, I assume. It's extremely cheap. Or we can pray for mercy, which costs 10 times as much. And I'm not entirely sure what it'll do. Blessing, or several blessings, perhaps? Is it worth it to pray for mercy? I suppose first we'll pray for a riddle. Because I don't know what this does. And I know we need these. The only thing I can think of that would make this worthwhile right now is if praying for mercy somehow was requisite for saving Holly's crew. Oh, I accidentally prayed for mercy. You are not the cursed pirate. Why do you help him? His fate is his own and deserved. A hissing sound escapes the statue, almost like laughter. Oh, it is necessary. Deckhand Rillan's soul is released. May you sleep well with this decision. The specter of a small, grubby boy steps out from behind the statue. He gives you a little wave before setting out into the waste, so that was the right thing to do.
You cannot be stopped from saving the weak and pathetic, can you?
We're fools. The mortals fell to their swords in greed, and we thought we would not. I'll pray for a riddle. With a cascade of dust, the statue's face begins to animate again. Beware the intersect of tree and tower. So that'd be the third row from the top, second card from the right. That's something to beware. Iga's Wrath. That's the demon, I suppose.
Here may easily be bypassed. Well, with knowledge and the wit to use it.
And the riddles become more expensive. We'll pay for one more. Walk the bloodied hill 3 times in order to reach the gateway. So, there are multiple levels to this map. I watched as the goddess of the hearth slew her own sister. The skies rained blood for 100 days, so that must be Iga. And yeah, they ain't kidding. We're gonna need a whole hell of a lot of gold to get the gold token for this one.
God is nothing but a source
There's
of
Iga again.
power. And now this one lies trapped beneath the earth, railing in fury but achieving nothing.
The ground here is cracked and blasted. Magma boils from great fissures, and the air shimmers from the dreadful, stifling heat. A rumbling comes from deep within the earth, like something huge and terrible waking from a slumber. A voice from below trembles with rage. You think I cannot crush you to dust from my prison? Heresy! Fool! Snake! Advance, and let your blood bless my grave. Oh, no. There we go. The magma boils, then subsides. The voice sighs. I'll let you live, worm. Spread word of my mercy. Perhaps then I will be free of this prison. Okay, that's it's not something we want to do again, but probably are gonna have to. There we go, the fallen treasure with the weave of the protector. That's definitely worth it.
Consider your actions carefully, if you would be worthy. The pendulum swings like a scythe.
And that'll give us just enough fame to equip it.
Or failure.
MC2M says, Wine of the Gods and Goblin Town are great here. We do have Goblin Town, so that should be a big help. Speaking of... Oh, Hubie's with us. Not the best Goblin Town haul, but we'll take it. Regular failure, that's fine. Oh, and they threw us back to Holly, who we don't need the gold. Hubie drops a heavy piece of black rock onto the campfire and dusts his hands. The statue is playing a game with us, isn't he? It's like a puzzle, but we can all die. We can talk to him. Oh. MC2M says, did you review the riddles? I did. I know all of them that we've already received.
This entire land is a trap.
Oh, again? Iga's mercy.
And at times, even for the gods, they come searching for power, and they never leave.
Here we go. A voice from below laments. I killed my own sister to reach the gateway. Hundreds of gods and thousands of mortals fell before they could chain me. Here, a solid gold statue bursts from the boiling magma and lands at your feet. With this, spread the story of my regret, mortal. Oh. Thank you. So do we want to prioritize using gold for riddles, or using gold to save Holly's crew? I would think the crew will pray for mercy. Gunnar Imor's soul is released. May you sleep well with this decision. A ghostly woman, tall and gangly, steps out from behind the statue. She playfully cocks a pistol at you before turning away toward the wastes. I do not remember how I came to be here. Whether I was imprisoned by mortals or my kin, time has worn my rage, my greed, and even my memories to nothing. The stone face grimaces. You can't tell if it's laughing or weeping. Free one more of them. Navigator Talk's soul is released. May you sleep well with this decision. A hollow-eyed apparition steps out from behind the statue. He scans the horizon with a ghostly telescope and, having found something of interest, sets off at a brisk pace. Give us one more, how about you? Quartermaster Barrelcloak's soul is released. May you sleep well with this decision. A towering woman, her face deeply lined with age, steps from behind the statue. She frowns at the landscape before striding out into the wastes. Now, I'm going to buy a couple riddles to see if they give us good information with which we can, acquire just enough equipment or gold to pawn off, and then safely purchase both the, I suppose, Holly's soul and the rest of the riddles. Beware the step east of the bridge. Okay. One more, how about it? Find treasure between twin oaks. Old valuables. Okay. Good. So I think we already know who our boss is gonna be, eh? Now, Iga's Mercy is a good card. Iga's Wrath is clearly a bad card. I'm curious about Iga's Sorrow, and I don't really want to chance it right now. Right now, I want to make sure I can meet the criteria of the gold token by freeing the pirate crew. And, I presume, getting all the riddles. Hey, it's one of my favorite cards. Just some thieves. Or the pious robes. I'm gonna take on the thieves.
Let us see what the youth can do for you, huh?
MC2M says, beware the path to the east of the bridge, after all, yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely want to stay away from that. And, oh, we finally get to see this little guy. I'm excited. Oh, I love him already. Hubie the Orphan. Some say that goblins are older than time. This goblin seems a little younger than that. When activated, Hubie taunts all enemies, drawing attackers away from you. Stay close to charge the ability faster. Okay.
Alleyways are really good for murder.
Oh, I love his voice. He's so cute. I think we made a good decision in picking Hubie instead of Valenos for this. So, I will say, even with what little characterization they've been given, or that we've seen directly, Hand of Fate has maybe some of my favorite fantasy goblins that I can clearly recall, along with, say, the Final Fantasy Online RPG's take on them, and, of course, the Warhammer take on, well, all of Goblin and Orc kind. What's in the box? Good, good, we needed that. Can we make it? I don't know. We do, just barely, but alright. Good, good. Yeah, we're getting a pretty good little setup together here.
These cards are not
really now?
Without reason.
So there's a lot of these. A lot of them.
Surely perish.
Okay.
Memory is true.
A goat.
Said. Yet our memories shift and fade and vanish in time.
I love it already. Look at the little illustration. While roaming...
Composed of faded truths and bright lies, what then is left?
While roaming the barren nothingness of the mournful wastes, you chance upon a goat. Pet the goat. Oh, what, are you serious?
Games within games within games.
We probably ain't gonna get this. We get that last re-roll, which is really nice, but, damn it. The goat chews on a leaf absent-mindedly. We've raised the gambit. Okay, we can return to a goat. Oh, good old Rana. Yes, yes, we will fish right now. It's just a little bit easier with the Platinum Harpoon, or the Premium Harpoon, so I really don't know that, it's necessary. MC2M says, turns out petting the goat is hard. Hey, real-life experience will bear that out. Goats aren't necessarily, like, generally ill-tempered, believe it or not, but they can be incredibly skittish. Old valuables. You find a cache of old things in a broken chest. Perfect. Perfect. They're both valuable. So I absolutely adore goats, though. Both as pets and as a source of protein. I actually would say goat is probably my favorite meat I've had. And trust me, coming from a half-Cajun family in the Deep South, I have tried many varieties of meat in my day. Oh, Ega's sorrow.
If you cannot learn to avoid them, you will surely perish.
A rumbling comes from deep within the earth like something huge and terrible waking from a slumber. A voice whispers below with lament. I crushed goblins by the handful, but still they came. MC2M says whale meat is not bad either. Oh man, that sounds good. Very, very fatty, no doubt, but I'm sure it's absolutely heavenly. But still they came, the gibbering horde. Still they torment me. Oh, we're just fighting goblins. Oh, well I'm A-okay with this then. I love fighting the goblins. And we've got special daggers that can deflect the hunter's attacks. Oh, sorry, reflect them. I'd say next to goat, probably the most esoteric meat I've had is frog. Like, you know, the good old Cajun-style frog legs. And they're surprisingly good. Imagine chicken with a slightly less pleasant texture, and you've got the basis of it. Oh man, these things are so cool. Goblin griefers. A simple enchantment is woven into these blades, though only a fool would be flummoxed by it. Love, like, the amethysts built into the... well, what would typically be... oh, wrong button. Oh! Hubie, distract your countrymen. Stop drinking. This is a dry challenge. Ugh. So, this is what the lava goddess just can't stand. Yeah, these little guys, they're like as bad as it gets for her. Alright. MC2M says, I live near France, and have never had frog legs. Also a native French speaker. Oh, wow. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're something of like a regional specialty in France. Like down in Louisiana, though, they're like a staple of Cajun Bayou cuisine, and oh my god, so fantastic. Then again, I think just about any meat is absolutely delicious if properly prepared with a good old-fashioned spicy, like seasoning rub. Okay, so the goblin griefers, actually really, really good. There we go. MC2M says they're not a staple, more like tourist trap cuisine. Kind of like those really weird burgers that so many places in the Midwest specialize in, or sandwiches in general. Give me your spoils. I need them. Equipment. Callous ring.
Do not ask me to speak of him. Not until the time.
That's a pretty nice little ability, but I'm sure we can sell this. Let's fight some more goblins.
These guards are not brimstone without reason. If you cannot learn to avoid them, you will surely perish.
There's this one place, I want to say it's out in Colorado. It was originally like just a small restaurant built onto the side of a museum that specializes in making this sandwich called the Fool's Gold Loaf that Elvis Presley absolutely adored. And what this sandwich is an entire loaf of bread. I believe, like, good old-fashioned French bread is probably the best for this, according to the restaurant. Hollowed out and filled with a full jar of peanut butter, a full jar of grape jam, and an entire pound of salted bacon. This is a sandwich that an entire restaurant can survive off of. That many people want to do that to themselves. Oh, no, you don't. MC2M says, yeah, not gonna try. I mean, now to me, maybe it's because I adore food so much, but it sounds like the kind of thing you would want to take exactly one bite of just to say, yes, I've tried that, and yes, it's as disgusting as it sounds. But it is the kind of thing you would have to try, you know? Like, I would not turn one down if offered. I just certainly wouldn't finish it. So Callus Ring is pretty... It's worth a fair bit of money, and I don't really need it, so off it goes. Let's get some more riddles and save Holly. QB is soaked in mud from the waist down. You're not entirely sure how that happened, given how dry the wastes are. Beloved Uranus soul is released. May you sleep well with this decision. A spectral young woman in a ragged dress steps out from behind the statue. She gives you a heartbreaking smile before choosing a direction and heading into the wastes. Once we numbered more than the stars. Now only 6 true gods remain. The rest are dead, or imprisoned, as I am. Alright, give us some riddles. South of the chest, fire and brimstone awaits. And again, find the goat between twin towers. We found the goat. The goat is entirely disinterested in us, though. All steps west of the goat lies only wrath. Ah, I see. Lovely. The shadow of a tower brews sorrow. One more goblin encounter. Okay. MC2M says, I'm more of an Anton ego. I love food, and if I don't love it, I don't swallow. That's totally fair, and honestly a far more reasonable position to take than, oh yeah, I'll eat any damn thing, even if it's a dreadful experience. Or I should say, I'll try anything once. I obviously won't return to things that I'm not fond of. But, well, real quick, is the statue indicating or are the stats in the upper right indicating there are 13 riddles for this level, or 13 riddles overall? Because if there's 13 riddles overall, we're doing really, really well.
Do not mistake immaturity for innocence. I'm sure he is far from either.
13 riddles overall, we're doing really well then. You find your new goblin companion, Hubie, at the base of an oak tree, shaking the branches in an effort to find his missing horn. Without my horn, the world will end, he squeaks. The great worm is coming to eat us all. I've seen the signs. I have. Oh, and also I saved the crew. The crew I saved overall. Excellent, so we've got them all. Hubie sits neatly onto the ground with his hands in his lap as if reciting his lessons. You'll know the worm is coming. When weapons advance to the beat of a quickening bloody drum, or when a single people consume all crop and clan. You gasp. Oh. You feel a rustling in your ration bag and turn to see Hubie suddenly behind you, stuffing food into his mouth. That's okay. He continues on, mouth stuffed with carrot pie. The end of days is nigh. When blighted creatures roam, you hear a rustling from the forest, and yep, it's the blight. We can take him, though. Oh, come on. Yep, 1 second. Game crashed.